bummer.
Come on, move it.
I'm very big and large, and that's a bummer. I guess they want to shrink my belly, but there's no place on earth that is this smelly.
I'm wearing football pants in summer.
Oh, you're slow.
I'm very big and large, and that's a bummer. I guess they want to shrink my belly,
Come on.
but there's no place on earth that is this smelly.
Yeah, it's the locker room in these camps right now because it's summer. As we just said, Saquon Barkley will make his way to camp now. Cowboys are out in camp in Oxnard. They not only said that they were happy about the signing of Trayvon Diggs, they're trying to work on a new extension for my favorite quarterback.
Yay!
Dak Prescott is signed through next year,
All
and
right.
they've expressed a desire on another multi-year extension for the one and only Dak Prescott.
Well, the question always remains, if it's not Dak, then who is it? You have no one to turn to. You got to turn to Dak. He's the only one. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see. They just came out. Forbes just came out with a new value of the Cowboys. It's $8 billion. They're the
Well, that's the property. That's not the team.
that's pretty much Jerry Jones and what the team is worth. So if you probably had to sell him, you'd probably get 10, 12 billion for him. So
The biggest problem in Big D is up front with Mr. Zach Martin. Offensive lineman that's holding out.
I would have signed him before Trayvon Diggs, I'll tell you that.
Tony Pollard on his franchise tag. That's all right. Fine and good.
Tony already signed that.
Dak Prescott trying to get that extension. Okay, that's all well and good. Both y'all ain't going nowhere without Mr. Martin leading the way.
Nope.
So, guy gets that deal done, too. I think before that deal gets done, now you're ready for the season. I would argue this. Chris Jones also, that was yesterday, holding out for the Kansas City Chiefs. Those interior linemen, more valuable. Even though the dollar signs might not say so, those interior linemen, more valuable. And Zach Martin, Chris Jones on the defensive side. They change the game, man. That line of scrimmage is very important in the game of football. And I think both those guys are some of the best in the biz.
I'm looking forward to some of these guys that are new. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud,
Same.
Anthony Richardson. I can't wait to see those guys playing in some, not just the preseason, but the regular season games. And then Jimmy Garoppolo obviously coming back and passing his camp physical is a good sign for him and the Vegas Raiders. I'm sure they're very excited. Even though Josh Jacobs went home, I'm not so worried about him. I was more worried about a healthy quarterback.
Yeah, I'm excited for these rookie quarterbacks to see what they can do with what I'd say this with each one of those teams, Colts, Texans, Panthers, and I know the Colts and Panthers really well. Defense is stout, ready to rock, made some improvements on all sides of the ball, and I could even argue that with the Texans because I'm a huge D'Amico Ryans fan who takes over as the head coach, one of the best linebackers in the history of the Houston Texans. You could even argue one of the best linebackers in the history of the game. I think their defense is going to get really good. Plus, they got my guy from Georgia. I forget his name, the dude that we wanted to draft when he was 18. I forget. We'll know it later. But they had to make that deal for C.J. Stroud and that dude at the top of the draft this year. So I think all three of those quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson for the Colts, C.J. Stroud for the Texans, Bryce Young for the Panthers, can really lean on a defense to keep them afloat all season long. But all three of those quarterbacks, C.J. Stroud for the Texans, Anthony Richardson for the Colts, Bryce Young for the Panthers, don't have many guys to throw to that you know about. I mean, the receiving core for each one of those teams is something to be desired. So, yeah, I can't wait to see how they swim because all three of them are going to get thrown into the deep end right away.
You were saying this off the air, but Jet fans got to be excited. You're going to see your team play the Cleveland Browns August 3rd in the Hall of Fame
Hell
game.
yeah, you got to be excited.
Like what, next week?
Feels like it. Woo-hoo. It's always early. That's the first one that gets things started. Then there's like a 10-day break before the next one. But, yeah, Jets will play the Browns August 3rd. Jets reported a little bit earlier. Browns reported a little bit earlier. 27 teams reported today. Those two reporting earlier, I think because of hard knocks for the Jets, but then the Browns too because of this game that's coming up. There's a lot of drama going on right now in every single camp. I think the Patriots camp is very interesting what's going on there as well. There's a lot of heat on Bill Belichick to perform and really this offense to be something that can compete in that division. The Jets, obviously, we've been talking about this for, it feels like, February, when the Super Bowl end? Whenever the Super Bowl ended. The Jets going to get Aaron Rodgers and just seeing how that goes. But the Giants today and Saquon Barkley and everyone showing up to see him and how their success is going to be, that's the story of the day for sure.
Yeah.
And just what has happened with the running back position over the last couple of decades in this league it's not, I wouldn't say it's like surprising, because I think we've all lived with this evolution knowing that it's a passing game now. But the one thing I still can't get over is if like you talk to head coaches in the NFL, they're all going to still say the same thing. Go talk to Belichick, Vrabel. What's the number one thing on defense? Stop the running game. What's the number one thing on offense? Establish a running game. Like, don't you want a really good running back to do that with? But these dudes are just using abused.
Yeah.
Using abused to establish the running game, using abused as being stopped by the defense, and they go through too many car crashes within 5 years to keep them in the league and pay them top dollar. It's just fascinating what's happened over the last 20 years in this league in particular with that position.
I can't wait to see Sam how he does. You got new ownership coming in for the Washington Commanders. Think about the quarterbacks in that division. Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, and Jalen Hurts. And they did sign Jacoby Brissett to back him up. That guy seems to always end up being a starter at some point wherever he goes, man.
He might have the best gig in the NFL. I mean, he's always ready. He's always learning new offenses.
He's the new Fitzpatrick.
Definitely.
Wherever I go, I'll eventually start. I'm not worried.
Yeah, whatever. I'll be there week 7.
I'm ready.
Yeah, there's a lot of newcomers I'm looking forward to. The Caesars Palace has put out the odds already for, I know this is a running thing, but they just got updated for Super Bowl futures. Do you want to take a guess at who's at the top of the pile for
Chiefs?
Chiefs, number
Probably
1.
Eagles.
Number 2, the Eagles as well. Now, there's some difference in where the 49ers go in a lot of people's polls,
Really?
but Vegas has them in the 3rd position to possibly win the Super Bowl. Now, 49ers.
That's kind of a stretch.
49ers. Their defense is awesome. Debo Samuel is awesome. Christian McCaffrey,
if he
awesome.
Can pass the ball to him.
How do we get the ball to those guys? Now, it was just cleared today that Brock Purdy going to be ready to start week 1.
The rocket ship.
Rocket ship about to take off. If you guys remember last time we were on that rocket ship, he was handing the ball off all through the NFC conference because he couldn't throw. Because what was it? Hassan went around the corner and broke his, what was it? Is the ulna, you know this one. This is your one.
Ulnar collateral ligament.
Thank you. The UCL. So we haven't seen him since. Now he's the starter. Do you guys remember who they signed as a backup? This could have fleeted everybody's mind, but you remember who they brought in. I'm not talking about Trey Lance. Yes, Trey Lance is still a 49er. No, we don't know if he's a quarterback in the NFL or not. Sam Darnold is the backup up there in San Francisco.
Nice.
That is, I think that's a very interesting camp, isn't it?
That's a pretty good guy to have backing up.
That's going to be an interesting preseason quarterback controversy to watch out there in San Francisco. You know, the 4th best team to win the Super Bowl, according to Caesars Palace.
Better than the Bengals?
Ooh, Bengals number 5.
Man.
Right in between the Bengals and the 49ers is the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, the Bills. I got the Bills and the Bengals right behind the Chiefs. Tennessee Titans with DeAndre Hopkins joining them helps them.
Yes, but they are not even close. They're not even sniffing it. Actually, your boys are number 6 as far as the Caesars odds. The Titans down in the pile. Not a lot of love for the Tennessee Titans. Do you want to take a guess? Actually, almost all NFC or AFC South teams are not favored to do very good this season. Do you want to take a guess? The bottom of the pile. What is the longest shot right now?
Arizona Cardinals.
Wow, you are correct, sir. They're tied with
or
another
the Houston Texans.
Wow, Wow, look, are you looking at it? You
No,
got it
I'm
up right
looking,
now?
I'm looking at the teams.
Dude,
That's all
you're
I'm
right.
looking at.
You are correct.
I'm not even looking at the records. I'm just looking at, that team sucks.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what kind of.
Probably the Bears are right there, sniffing the bottom.
My Bears are going to be all right this year. My Bears are getting some love.
Yeah, I think the Packers fall down a few notches with Jordan Love now at quarterback.
It's really weird. The Packers and the Patriots right around plus 5,000 to start the season.
All right, so school me. You get $100. I can make $5,000.
$100, you make 500.
Oh, I make 500.
Or excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah, you are correct.
Okay.
$5,000. You are correct.
Okay.
$100 will be a $5,000 payoff.
But they got to win the Super Bowl.
Correct.
I don't know. What are the Cowboys?
They're up there, man. Hold on. Let me give you the exact plus.
1,500?
Yep.
Okay.
100 to win 1,500.
Okay, I could do that. I think my wife will let me do that.
Do it. It's a fun little season. And then you can get really mad at them this year, Dibs. Especially if they lose the Super Bowl.
I'm mad at them. It's just, it's not even mad. I'm disappointed. But
Isn't
Look,
that
my
fun,
dad
though?
used to say that.
What?
My dad always said, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, but he was talking to you. He wasn't talking about the Red Sox or the Bruins.
Ah, that's great.
I know. I wasn't going to win anything.
I like when my Cubs lose. I don't like it when they're trying to win.
What?
Because I grew up that way. I grew up yelling at them, and I grew up being a hater of them, but rooting for them at the same time, being happy when they win. But there's just some enjoyment of who's my guy, Alfonso Soriano.
Oh,
There's
God.
just some
Mr.
enjoyment
Hopper, the
with
bunny hop.
every time he caught a ball in left field. Like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? What is that?
What are you doing? How much are we paying this guy? And then we lose, and it's like, that's what I'm used to. I'm used to that. When they won in 2016 and everybody started wearing Cubs gear all over the place, like,
Yeah, no.
ugh, this just doesn't feel good. You don't understand that, Red Sox fan? No? All right.
He does, but he only had to wait
A little-
in his fan base 86 years. You waited 108 years to win a championship.
It's a fine wine. It tasted a lot better.
Did they even have like a, I don't know, they couldn't have had like a 110-year-old person that was like 2. Said, what?
There
Been
was
waiting
a
my
couple
whole
of
life.
women.
Was there a
There
couple
was
of old people
There
that
was-
were like,
I remember
waiting
an
forever?
old lady that was 109 years old. That was a Chicago Cubs fan.
Okay, but you didn't remember them not winning back in the day. I mean, we're talking about Babe Ruth was smoking the Cubs in the World
I
Series.
really
back then.
think they just found people that were 109 years old.
You're the only one still alive that even if you're a Cubs fan, we're going to throw you in there.
But
I used to love Harry Carey, though. I'm not getting off topic, but everybody that was 100, he would always wish them happy birthday.
Love it.
That was his big thing every day. Mildred Johnson from Des Moines, Iowa is 100 today.
Miss McCaskill from
Yeah.
Chicago.
She's a looker. I
She
told you,
just
man.
Turned 100.
You're like, she's 85. No, she's 100.
The one thing that's different with us Cubs fans and you Cowboy fans is expectations preseason. You Cowboy fans, you always believe there is some hope, some way that this is the year. This is definitely going to happen.
Okay, first of all, as a Cowboy fan, I just want the 2 games against the Giants, Eagles, and now Commanders. In my mind, they're still Redskins. I
like
just want those.
Commandos.
If they just win 6 games a year, those are the only 6 I need you to win. This is kind of like Michigan, Ohio State. After that is gravy. But when you start getting beat by the Giants and beat by the Eagles, and oh my God, you're getting, you're 1-1 against the Commanders. That's when I am angry.
You're telling me with the TO-led offense, with the dropped field goal placement.
That was
didn't-
Romo, but man, I was always down
You're
on Romo.
telling me that the clock's winding out and this guy's trying to spot the ball and they don't know what the hell they're doing a couple of years ago
I
in
don't
the
think we've been
playoffs?
good, honestly, in my mind, since Troy Aikman was behind center. That's the last time I had confidence we were going to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, the last time that Jerry wasn't involved in anything. Oh, that makes
Exactly.
sense. Yeah,
It's
it's
good
okay.
And,
Yeah.
and Jimmy Johnson was at the helm.
See, us Cubs fans, we go into the season thinking, this is going to be a fun pastime.
This is our year?
This is going to be a fun. No, never. That's never the thought. The thought is, can we beat the Reds? Can we yell at the Brewers enough where they're going to lose? And don't let us be worse than the Pirates. But other than that, we're not looking for the World Series.
I got to
Just looking
tell
for
you,
some
a
fun.
lot of love for Cub fans the way you travel. you always were 60-40 outweighing the Red fans in Cincinnati whenever we played the Cubs.
It's a different, like, I don't know.
But you weren't in our division when I played. It's different. Now you're in the Central.
I think it's somewhat of a misery loves company thing. We're like, yeah, that's right. We lose and we're still here. Ha! You guys with your winning teams that don't even show up. You don't support them like we do.
Kurt's fan base and John Ashton, they're spoiled, man. The Red Sox won you a bunch of championships, and now you're just that you expect that every year now.
Right.
See,
expectations. I agree with you. Expectations.
I disagree. I think that
the roster this year realistically.
Before we go to the baseball and we do Daily Pickle, what if you're a Giants fan? What are your expectations now that you got Daniel Jones on an extension and you signed Saquon Barkley and he's going to camp, so you don't have a holdout?
For them, and I think a lot of them are realists, and Henry's when he's about to get on the mic on this. I really don't think they're thinking Super Bowl. I don't think that they are.
Are you thinking division champs?
No.
I think.
What are you thinking?
Playoffs to win a
I'm
playoff
thinking staying
game.
Healthy.
Winning one playoff.
That's a pretty
game.
low bar, Henry.
I'm thinking maybe we can beat the Dallas Cowboys, who the Giants haven't beaten in 5 years. Maybe we can probably get to 500 in a weak NFC.
Let's not forget
you were 9-7
right?
Last year,
Exactly.
dude.
You beat Minnesota, right?
We beat Minnesota in the first round
got
of the
your
playoffs.
butt kicked by Philadelphia. Like that's where we were last year. You would think that we'd want to take a step.
All right,
maybe
so
an
September
NFC
10th, man. You and I will have to put a bet on this game. It's Cowboys Giants, September 10th.
That's the first one.
Season.
Where are we at for that one?
You're in New York.
The Giants have the fourth hardest strength of schedule in the NFL this season. We'll be lucky if we're 9-7 again.
But a lot of that reason is because you play the Philadelphia Eagles twice and you play the Dallas Cowboys
Yeah, but you get
twice.
the Cardinals. But you go to Arizona. You get the 49ers. You might have Brock Purdy. You could kick the crap out. You could be right off the bat 2-1 after the Cowboys beat you. You could beat the Cardinals and beat the 49ers and then the Seahawks.
There's some coin flip games in that 9-7
The Seahawks
last
game
year.
is a coin flip game.
games in that 9-7 last year.
The Seahawks is a coin flip game. I think there's a couple of other games where we could probably get.
And then after the Seahawks, it opens up. You get Dolphins, but then you get Bills, but you got Commanders, Jets, Raiders.
The Raiders is a winnable game.
You guys don't know about the NFL yet.
The Jets.
Give it 2 weeks. The Jets, the Commanders, the Raiders, all could be 2-0. And we could all have a different opinion about these teams. That's the league, man. The league can flip it, completely flip it.
Like I said, I just want the Giants to go through a season and not get hurt.
All
Like
right.
last year, did you even know who Isaiah Hodgins was?
No.
No.
I know Matt Breida, though.
Yeah.
Fantasy warrior.
He's a fantasy handcuff this year.
All right, we got New York Mets Yankees tonight. Let's talk some Daily Pickle. Trey Turner took a beat down last night. We'll talk about it. The fans were booing him. I got to tell you what happened during that Philadelphia loss last night. Next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell on your afternoon drive.